a flight back home to the States at that time. I was coming from Portugal, and there was a connecting flight from there, and then another flight from there to Miami, and then from Miami to my destination back home. Now, I made it from Portugal to Madrid, but in between that time, that's where the problem lies.
But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Roz, and I love to travel, and I like to help others find ease in traveling. Why not? Because we all love to travel. Let's find the best places for us to go. How about that? Now back to the video.
If there's a language difference, always get a map. Now you might say, hey, duh, don't you know how to do that? Maybe. So here it goes with the airport, terminals. We'll go to that too. Flights or airlines to and from, and just the area of Madrid itself. So it tells you about the hotels, it tells you about the surrounding areas. If you want to go see a football game, they call it over there, soccer that we say here. But yes, they have those things, tourist attractions, and it also tells you the weather condition there, which is good. But do know it's in Celsius. But the neat thing here is that over here it gives you the option to it translates it for you. So you see this the flag of Spain, and then you see here it has the England flag here, which is English. Different kind of English that we use in the States, but it's still you can understand it roughly. And let's see here. Let's go to the airport. So here you got the information airport map, which is very important here. Um, you have the terminals. That's important too, because I'm telling you, sleeping at the airport rooms. Now, some of these airports now, they have where you could rent a room and sleep in it for a certain time period. They have it in Germany, and I see it's like they have it here in Madrid too. You just rent a little pod, as they call it, a space. And if you have a long layover flight, let's say for a few couple of hours, you can rent the room for a certain time. And they have even little amenities in there, like a nice little shower, and of course your toilet. But just little things to freshen up and make sure that you get to your next flight without having to leave the airport terminal. Now we have other things here about Wi-Fi, internet access, which is important too. Let's go to the airport map itself. And you can get this right off at their uh, airport. You just type in Google Madrid airport, and it'll come up with Madrid Barajas Airport. As you can see here, now it had like terminal T1, T2, T3. It also has a T4. Now, I don't know why they did this, but my flight came in one of these terminals right here. And for some reason, the connecting flight, probably because it was a local flight in Portugal, but I had to go all the way over there to T4. But how would I know that? I was looking at the signs when I was leaving, and I remember people running out because our flight too was a little delayed as well. Now, remind you, this was right during the pandemic. Kind of the pandemic was lifting some of these regulations, but still traveling was a little comfortable, getting back comfortable, but at the same time, it might be some short staff here and there. So things that were getting reacclimated back into full-time traveling. But I'm telling you right here, did I do this right? Let's go back out. I really was trying to figure this airport out. I was lost. I knew I had to take a train. Now, let me tell you, I've been to Atlanta airport. I know there's a train you have to take. There's even one in Detroit that you take. It's like the underground. You take a tram or train, and there you go, right? No, this was different. It felt like I was leaving one airport and going to another airport. I believe London Heathrow is the same way, if I remember connecting. But I just remember having such a organized experience there. Here, you were relied on your own to get to this spot. There, they had helpers at Heathrow to help you get to the place. Other airports I've been that were more complicated, they had people to really tell you where to go. Also, too, take in consideration, I don't speak Spanish. Not fluent. I don't speak it. I know a few words, but I really don't speak it. Um, that didn't help. So there was a language barrier. Now, luckily, the people that did work at the airport did know some Spanish, but there were some people who didn't who worked there, and they had to go and find someone who knew how to translate. So there was also language differences because and especially like when you go to places in Europe and the EU and the UK, you're going to go and say, "Hey, I need to find the elevator to go to terminal so and so." They're going to be like, "Elevator?" They're going to look at you and be like, "Elevator? What's that?" And when they translate it, because for them, it's called a lift. So know those type of words too. Um, it will be helpful, I would say, if when you do traveling. All this is to help create some kind of ease in your experience because you want to leave having a good experience. It's all about having your good experience for yourself. Now, everything won't always be perfect. So here it goes with that. So I'm walking, I'm trying to get people to help me. I finally figured it out. And I knew because I kind of had a feeling I got lost because I just did not know where I was going. So they said, well, just go see the ticket agent. The ticket agent will help you um, get the rescheduled flight. But we don't have anything going out later today. You have to wait till tomorrow. And I'm like,
So I had to go back to the other side of the airport, and they will assist me from there.
this long line because obviously there's a lot of people who missed their connecting flights. There's a lot of people, trust me. And she was giving out hotel vouchers and giving out uh, a return flight ticket to come back for tomorrow and transportation. When that got to me, I felt a little kind of way because I'm thinking, okay, no problem, get my stuff and figure this out tomorrow. She said, oh no, you had time. Excuse me? Yes, you had time. No, I didn't. And you know where I was going, I'm lost. Well, you had time. No, 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 no. So basically, she was trying to just kind of like read me the rights and say because I had time, that's on me, and that I need to figure it out, and I would just have to sleep in the airport. I am not sleeping. Are you serious? First off, I don't have a backpack. Second off, I am not sleeping in the airport. Are you serious? Luckily, I had a carry-on luggage, and that was all I had because I didn't pack this check-in luggage to that trip. I normally I always try to do a carry-on if I'm going to do connecting flights abroad, just because I pack light, and then also too because of things like these situations that can occur. But for the most part, I would say 8 times out of 10, 8.5 times out of 10, I usually take the carry on, and that's it. But while I was waiting in that long line and I was trying to figure out what to do, and I was going through my emails, some said, pull up your location because the energy felt different when I got to Spain. It felt different from Portugal. I had some crossing lines that were going, and of course, they affected certain aspects which were going to give me more of a discomfort while being there. Now, look, I don't want to sound like I'm a doom and gloom, a negative Nancy type of thing, but these are very good to know even when you travel. So, what to expect, how to prepare yourself. For me, I use it to how to prepare myself.
I would just say this, that it was an obstacle trying to, also language barriers and trying to communicate clearly and respectfully that you are trying to get accommodations to get for the night just so you could get back the next day to get to your flight to get back home. So learning through those obstacles was a learning experience in itself. And um, things that I could learn from that going forward, I have used them in future trips. So now using maps when there are connecting flights to airports that are unknown, first time connecting flights to different countries, different places, whether it's in the US or whether it's in Europe or whether it's in other countries. I have to study that, make sure that I'm on point when it's time to leave.
I'm upset, I'm annoyed. I just missed my flight and I'm being told I got to figure this out on my own. It's not their problem. But the next flight they could give me is back in the morning. Goodbye. So I said, well, I need to get a connecting flight. Well, she can help you over there. That's what he was saying. I said, no, she can't help me because she didn't. And I'm very disappointed in that. Well, he said, well, look, I'll go talk to her. I'm thinking, oh, no, don't do that because I already knew because they work together as staff. Anytime there's outside people that are going to come in and tell you one thing and you already know the people you work with, you're going to trust the people you work with over the people that come from the outside, right? So if all of a sudden he come back, his attitude changes. He's a little more confrontational, a little more aggressive. And it's like, well, yeah, you just have to wait. And I'm like, can you tell me where I need to go? Well, where are you trying to go? I'm trying to get to the other terminal. It was a disaster. I'm not even done. And I mean, I could go with piece by piece, but I'm just going to share certain aspects of this. I had to go to, I had to figure it out. I literally had to figure it out in that airport. I went to another part, which was the luggage part. There was another guy that was there. I won't even say the background, but I could tell I was a little disturbed by this response too. And I made a complaint. I said, it's not right. I was a little annoyed, but because of these aspects that were going on, this is what agitated. And normally I'm like, okay, whatever if I'm back home. But I was there like, I'm gonna call it embassy,
I'm
right?
moving
And I
along.
was just a little annoyed. Hey, I'm human. I'm human. And that's what we have to take account for. We're human. And it's okay. He said, well, do whatever. Because back as he looked at me, he's like, you're just one of those American people, like complaining Americans. So it's like, oh, okay.
And they were on siesta at this point. That's their 2 hour break.
So bet you can think that all you want. But I knew in my head I was going to get my mission accomplished because I was determined to. I was going to let that stop me. So I found the terminal. I think that was that terminal, what, 4 that I had to go to? Let's look it up on the map. I just had to go there. And guess what? And I got the shuttle there, the connection between the terminals. Let's look at that. I was just myself. I was calm. I wasn't obsessed. And, he has nothing to do with it. I'm not going to take it out on him. And normally I don't do that type of thing anyway. But I saw he had to make a phone call. I just said, well, I need arrangements, accommodation, please. So he looks at it, stares at it, looks at it, stares at it. Now he speaks Spanish. And then he looks, then he goes make a phone call. And he was on the phone for a minute. I'm just sitting here. And by this time, I'm saying all my prayers. I need my prayers at this point. And I'm just like, okay. And I'm thinking about what could I learn from this experience and how can it be better next time around if I have to ever come back to this airport and connect again. Study the map. And guess what? Hey, and get a longer connecting flight time too, a layover flight time, more than 2 hours, 3 hours for that airport. Not like 30 minutes to 45 minutes because that plane was late and I literally was late. I missed my flight. So, with that being said, he ended up going ahead and giving me the hotel room for the night, a meal voucher, and a transportation to the hotel. And I went out there, stand outside, got on the hotel shuttle, and got there. The highlight of that trip was that at that hotel that they contracted out for, the guy that was there, he was so nice. He was so helpful. And I think he's about to get off of work too. So he was just really in a good mood. And, you know, and that helped because I was just feeling depleted at this point. And I'm sharing this for other people to know that these things can happen and they also can be resolved as well. It's just my experience. Travel more, explore more, and we'll talk soon. All right, until the next time.
Thanks for watching this video today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so whenever new content comes out, it'll notify you. Thanks for watching!